Hi everyone, this is Barb at Studio B. I'm going to try to set up to do a painting here. See if this will work. Hi everyone, this is Barb with Studio B. I wanted to go ahead and get set up here. Today we're going to be painting a covered bridge with some colorful trees for fall, and it's going over a river or lake here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I wanted to give a shout out to my mom, Janice. Today is her birthday, so I'm doing this painting thinking about her. This is something she would really love to paint or enjoy watching. So I have my bridge sketched in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my lines in with paint just so it's a little easier to see where they are. Hi, if you're just now joining me, I'm painting a covered bridge today. I have my background started just to help on time. And YouTube, I hope you can see this. Sorry, I'm using one camera for one site and this camera for the YouTube site. I'm going to work at getting a better setup for next week. So I'm just putting in some lines to make sure I don't lose my bridge right here. I remember when I was younger, we drove across country, and it was around Indiana, I think maybe some in Illinois, and Ohio, Pennsylvania. We'd come across some bridges, and it's something we don't really have much of in Kansas. There's probably a few, but this is something that is more common in those areas, I think, probably because of the rain and snow that they get, and that's how they kept the bridges open, I suppose, back before they salted and did all that ice treatment on the roads. So I'm imagining, I did some research, not using one picture in particular, but this is the reference I had was a long bridge, and then it had trees all around it. So we're just kind of getting this section of the bridge in. It might have been like a railroad bridge, I'm not sure. Which I don't think a wooden railroad bridge would be too wise these days. They'd probably want something a little more substantial. I'm picking up some black, a little bit of white, and this is burnt sienna. I'm going to add some of the timber that would cover the bridge. Trying to make this look like it's somewhat aged. I'm using a round brush to start. I will probably switch over to a bright or one of my angle brushes here in just a little bit. We woke up to some chilly weather here. It's been in the 80s, and then all of a sudden, boom, it is chilly today. Okay, I'm going to switch over to my other brush. Oh, wait. No, I'm not. Haha, tricked ya. So I want this bridge to have some pretty detail. Little, like almost like a lattice, crisscross type of design. This would be to let air through, but also in sunshine, probably to help light the way. I doubt these kind of bridges would have electrical lighting. That would be something to research, though, wouldn't it? I'm going to add a darker line here. Okay. Now I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to start putting in the foliage for our trees. And it is October, so I pretty much bet you guys can guess what colors we're using. So I am going to put some green in. I'm just going to throw in a little green. Green with a little black to give it a deeper color. Then we'll put some bright on top of it. This is, we've done this style past couple paintings. This is what we did last week. It was a pumpkin in a red wagon with a mum and some blurred trees in the background, just not what we were really talking about, but we added that in there. What's your favorite thing about fall? I would be curious to know that. Of course, when I was younger, it was Halloween, getting to dress up and go trick-or-treating. Now I appreciate the colors. Hanging out with friends and family, with maybe at a bonfire, roasting marshmallows, that kind of thing. That sounds like fun. All right, I'm going to let that set a little bit. So my reference had this really long bridge, so I think I might leave that side open, but this side I'm going to cover up more. So let's come over on this side and add in some green. It looks like our light is hitting right here pretty good so far. Of course, we are the artists. We can change it. But we do need to think about where the light source is coming from. Of course, it would be from the sun. I'm going to say evening time, so the sun isn't right on up high. It would be coming more at an angle. So let's say the sun is coming this way. So that would mean I need to put this side in the shadow a little bit and this side warmer. If you're just joining us, thank you for popping on to see what we're doing. I know some of you catch this on your lunch break. Thanks for popping in. And of course, there'll be a replay, so if there was something that you missed and wanted to find out the rest of the story, you can check out check it later today. We'll add the replay in. I'm going to pick up some orange, tap that in. My brush is still dirty. This is just the first layer. YouTube, I'm sorry if this is not the best angle. I will work on getting a better setup. I'm going to pop some red over here. I need to leave some space for a bird to fly through, so I don't want it totally solid. Okay, so if we're saying this is a river or a lake, we would have some reflections. So I'm going to go ahead and pop down here, and I'm going to put some color in, but I'm going to, water is level, unless it's like a waterfall. I'm going to tap in some of this color, but it's muted. Oops, that's a little bright. See, we're getting some reflection into the water. This is a calm day for we'll say this is a calm day for our water. Oops, I don't want that to be too bright. I was hoping to have my Christmas stuff ready to reveal with you today, but not quite ready to reveal it, so I will share that with you as soon as I have it ready. My brush is still dirty. I have not rinsed it out, which is kind of fun to just kind of add on this color. I might have a tiny bit of orange that pops in unexpectedly, but that's kind of fun. That makes it fun. So this here should have that line. So I'm going to pick up the blue and some black. I'm going to put that line in here. Now an engineer would probably say there was some kind of bracing underneath. Picked up a little bit of white with my blue. Gonna tap that in. Give it that watery look. Might be getting some reflections from the sky as well. A little over here. Don't want to take away all the dark here. Let's see. I wiped some of that paint off my brush. I think I got a little bit too much light right here. Change it up a little bit. Now it kind of looks like our river is not so calm, but it gives it some fun detail. And I'm kind of like skimming the water with my brush. That'll help my brain remember that I'm not going to do this in my water. My goodness, this is coming along quickly. I feel like there should be some color peeking through. All right, now I'm going to rinse my brush. I think I'm going to use this round brush again. I don't want it to be too bright though. So I mixed some of that dark blue with the red, and I'm just going to tap some in. See, it's not as bright as the one up there. And I could come up here with more detailed plopping. This type of acrylic paint is soft bodied, so it's thicker than like the flow, so you can build up on it. All right, I kind of like that. So our light, we decided, is coming this way, so this over here would be catching some light. So I'm going to use this orange to help our eyes to see that the sun is catching this to be brighter red, but I'm using orange. I'm going to do that over here. Sometimes you got to wipe some of the paint off your brush, not necessarily always rinsing. This over here is pretty wet yet. I'm just going to hit a bright spot once in a while on our water. I don't want it to be too bright, but we got the colors. Let's use them, right? We got the colors out. Let's use them. And I got to remember to keep them skimming the water. This kind of reminds me when we did our water lilies. All right, let's see. I'm going to kind of step back and see how it looks. All right, I think we can work on our bridge a little more now. Rinse out my angle brush. Oh, here, I'm going to grab a different one. A different angle brush. So it says 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to pick up some of that burnt sienna, white, and a touch of black. I'm going to give the bridge a little highlight up here. This kind of, let's see, I think the shingles or rafters, shingles, I guess, kind of go in this direction. All right, I'm gonna put in a thin black line to look like this is kind of right. This is going over slightly. Highlight some of this. I was thinking this would be a red covered bridge, but I kind of like this warm color, warm brown. Well, there's some red from my leaves there. All right. Put in some dark right here for our bridge. A little bit of reflection. Sorry if I'm shaking the table a little bit. That's probably... Don't want to make you seasick. Seasick on YouTube or Facebook, however you're catching this. All right. There's our shadow. I'm going to mix a little bit of gray here. There's our simple little covered bridge with some fall colors around it. Could always come back after this dries and put in some little details. But I think that looks pretty good for what time we put into it. So tell me which one you had fun watching, the pumpkin with the wax or the covered bridge. So many fun things to paint for fall. Sorry to step away for just a moment, but I wanted to bring this one out. This is one I painted a couple years ago with a paint party. We had a lot of fun with the birch trees, which I just realized we could put some birchiness into our trees. Let's do that. Birch trees are really fun to paint, and we can make them fairly quickly. I'm going to take some white. Actually, I'm going to just mostly white, just a little bit of that gray. I'm going to have, let's say, part of one. And now we can put in the markings. I'm going to put in a few little branches. Of course, we're looking at this from the other side of the lake, so we don't have to get super detailed. But we got to remember our light's coming from this way. So we'll put our darker side over here. I'm going to add a few hot spots of just white. Not going to go crazy with this birch tree idea because it's pretty spur of the moment. Let's put one right here. At least part of it. And this one, just with the paint on my brush, the way it's setting on my brush, it did the dual sides for me. That's pretty neat when that happens. And a few of the traditional marks. You can do a whole painting with just birch trees, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, I think I like that. Let's see, so if we have this here, we have to jackknife it. And that's way too bright. The reflection would be like a jackknife, which means it goes opposite. And of course, this is just a reflection, so it's not going to be an exact copy. I'm going to fix that. I didn't like how that looked. And I'll just tap my brush on the paper towel. I'm going to lightly go over it. So it looks like a little more like just a reflection. I put a touch of black there, wiped my brush off. Now I'm going to kind of add that in. Just when I think I'm done, one more detail. 5 hours later, just kidding. All right. We could sit here and look and look and look and try to decide what else. But I think I'm not going to. Let's call that good. Thank you for joining me. We've been, about 30 minutes, I think. Try to keep it easy in a short amount of time for your lunch break or just something to watch for the afternoon. If you want to watch the replay, if you wanted to paint along with me during the replay, you could do that. That would be fun. So thank you. And one more time, I want to wish my mom, Janice, a happy birthday. We love you, and we're so excited for your birthday. Thanks.